In this intro to sports marketing, we have a couple discussion points to focus on to really get us into the subject of sports marketing and research. What is a sport product, and how are they different from other goods and services? There's a notion that sports are recession proof. Is that really true? Importantly, what is sports marketing? That's a really important definition to this class. And what is marketing myopia? And then how do we avoid it? You'll see why it's not such a good thing. And then one of the questions to discuss and think about as you go through the class is why should sports be marketed differently? There must be some reason why you're taking this class as opposed to just a basic marketing class, or why we have a need for this class. So let's talk first about the sport product and what it really means to say the sport product. The sport product is any bundle of experiences, goods, and services that offer some kind of benefit or fulfill a want or need to not only a spectator or a person participating, but also businesses who are engaged in sponsorship. There tend to be 5 core wants that sport products help to fulfill. These are health, motivations like participating in sports, entertainment, providing a social aspect, achievement, like if you ran a 5K and it made you feel really great that you accomplished that for the first time, and identification. Identification deals with finding a group of people with similar interests as yourself. Here's some examples of sport products. It could be running in a 5K or a marathon. It can even be esports and gaming. It might be professional wrestling or joining a health club like the YMCA. Some other sport products are sporting events, which is what we'll focus on primarily in this class, is the marketing of sporting events. But it's also sporting goods, sports information, and sports training. These are all sports products that need marketing. So what makes the sport product, and in particular, I'm talking about the spectator sporting events here, different from traditional products? After all, why do we need a specialized class to talk about it? So before we go through those, I have some questions for you. You can either write these answers down or just think about them in your head. When you purchase a shirt at Target or somewhere like that, how do you know how much you're going to spend on that shirt? Do you go to the same pizza place because you know and like what you're getting, or because you really hope it's different every time? Let's say you own an ice cream shop and you notice people don't seem to like the strawberry flavor. What would you do? Maybe this ice cream shop is a place you've owned for several years. How do you predict the sales of certain flavors every new summer season? Why do you think your prediction is reliable? As the ice cream shop owner, how do you make the most of your money? And how do you control the products that you offer your customers? If you're thinking about traditional products and services, these questions seem kind of silly, right? You know what you're going to spend at Target because there's a price tag. And you don't expect to get up to the register and find out you actually have to spend 3 times as much. Probably you get the same pizza because it's consistent. You know what you're going to get and you like it. As this ice cream shop owner, probably if you know that people aren't liking a certain flavor, you can change it, change the formulation, get rid of it altogether. I don't know about you, but if I had to predict my sales for Rocky Road ice cream the next summer, I'd probably use sales from the previous season. So these are some of the things that seem like silly questions when we talk about traditional products or tangible goods. But when we talk about sports, these are some of the things that make sport products unique, and particularly the sporting event. Sports are unpredictable. That's one reason that we like them, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen. That's what makes it exciting. As a sport marketer, we cannot control the outcome of this product, okay? This is really different from marketing a traditional good or service because we have more control over what the consumer gets. Sports are intangible, they're experiential, and really subjective. If a game ends in a certain way, I may feel that the game was great, but you may feel that the game was terrible. Or if we both attend the same tennis match, I might have had a great experience, but you had a seat that was sticky and the person next to you was annoying and maybe you were really in the sun and that bothered you. So there's a lot of reasons why sport consumption is subjective. And the consumption and production of sports occur simultaneously. So it's not like you buy it and bring it home and decide later whether or not you liked it. The sports marketplace is really unique too because organizations both compete and cooperate. And this is part of the nature of that industry. Teams compete against one another, but at a business level, they cooperate within the league quite a bit, whether or not you realize that or not. The NFL is a conglomeration of cooperative organizations that work together for the success of the league. Demand in sports in the marketplace, it fluctuates a lot. It fluctuates from team to team, from year to year, and for a wide variety of reasons. But one of the good things is that the sports industry has very universal appeal, and it tends to pervade our life in so many different ways. It's hard to talk to somebody that doesn't like some kind of sport. And one other thing that makes the marketplace unique is that consumers have really strong identification and salience to sports. What that means is that it's a really important part of our lives when we're a sports fan. And it tends to dictate some of the things that we do, the things that we buy, how we spend our time. There's also some unique aspects of sports finance. The price of the sport product, it's not like going to Target and buying a t-shirt and knowing you're going to spend $20 because the price of the sport product is really small compared to the total cost paid by the consumer. Your ticket price might be $49. By the time you show up at the stadium, pay for parking, buy food, buy a program, and have a couple drinks, maybe you spent $200. We also know that what we say is indirect revenues are usually greater than direct operating revenues. And some of these examples come from sponsorship. So the finance of sport is not reliant completely on ticket sales, but on relationships with businesses who help support them and provide sponsorship dollars. And this example here from La Liga is a good one. Sport promotions are also a really unique aspect of sports because the media really emphasize sports figures, make them celebrities, and this is kind of like having free promotions. And we don't get that a lot with traditional products and services. Now, remember that this could be a double-edged sword, okay? Sometimes this can be detrimental to brand image, particularly if you have polarizing players or players who behave badly. And so you can see my choice of pictures here if you are familiar with the Bengals. So one of the things to think about as a sports marketer is how does player behavior affect the team's business operations? It might not at all, but there are certainly cases when it has had a pretty strong impact on ticket sales or sponsorships or fan loyalty. I'm sure you can think of some examples when players behaving badly has not been good for your favorite organization. So as a quick recap, there's 4 main aspects of the sport product that make them unique from other typical product. It's the sport product itself, the sports marketplace, sports finance, and sport promotions.